Hello everyone! Did you know that Chinese people believe the world is composed of 5 essential elements: metal, wood, water, fire, and soil? In our last lesson, we learned the character for soil. Today, let's take a look at the characters for metal, wood, water, and fire, and see what their shapes reveal to us. Join Parry and Kody on this exploration.
Good morning, Professor Kody. In the last lesson, we learned the word Saturn, 土星. Are we going to learn the names of a few other planets in this lesson?
Hello, Parry. Yes. Before that, can you answer a question?
Of course, Professor. I'm really curious. What's the question?
Do you know what the world is made of?
Wow, that's a really challenging question. I've heard many different ideas. Some say the world was created by gods. Ancient Greek philosophers believed water, fire, or atoms were the fundamental elements. And modern scientists talk about electrons and quantum particles. I don't understand all those complex scientific theories, but for me, my world is made of trees.
You know a lot. The question of what the world is made of has been explored by people for thousands of years. In Chinese culture, it is widely believed that the fundamental 5 elements are 金木水火土, metal, wood, water, fire, and soil. These elements interact through cycles of creation and destruction, forming everything in the world.
金木水火土 means soil. It's indeed very important. So, what do the other 4 characters represent?
Now, let's solve your question. In this picture, there are 3 Chinese characters. Can you guess their meanings?
That's easy. The blue character must be water, the red one is fire, and the green one must be tree.
You got it right. Let's first look at the character, 水, water. Water flows, so people used curved lines to represent its movement. The broken curves on both sides resemble water being blocked by something, but still finding its way around the obstacle. Later, for easier writing, the curved lines were simplified into straight lines, forming their character we see today, 水.
The character, 水, is very vivid. I memorized it instantly.
The character 火 is also very vivid. It literally depicts a fire, with curved lines representing the flames. Doesn't it feel like the flames are dancing as they burn?
Yes. This character is easy to understand at first glance.
The simplified character 火 is also easy to remember, right?
Yes, Professor. I've already learned it.
The character 木 must be your favorite, right?
Of course. This character is so adorable. It has a trunk, branches on top, and roots at the bottom.
The modern simplified character 木 just turns the curves into straight lines, but it still remains very recognizable.
That's awesome! I just learned 3 characters: 水, 火, and 木. If all Chinese characters were this easy, that would be great.
If everything were too easy, there would be no challenge, right? Now, here comes a real challenge for you.
This character is indeed hard to guess.
The reason it's difficult is that you haven't found the right approach. Chinese characters were created by ancient people, and they use things from their daily lives and inspiration for making characters. So, to understand the meaning behind the structure of Chinese characters, you need to understand the way ancient people lived. For example, the character Jing means metal. In ancient times, what common objects in daily life were made of metal?
I think it should be tools, such as farming equipment for plowing the fields, and weapons for battle, like arrows, swords, and spears.
That's the right way of thinking. I've broken this character into 3 parts. Take a look and see what they resemble.
This sharp shape looks like an arrow, and this one seems like an axe. But I'm not sure what these 2 squares represent.
You got 2 parts right. What are arrowheads and axes made of?
Of course they are made of metal. I get it now. When people see arrowheads and axes, they naturally think of metal.
Do you know how axes and arrowheads were made?
I know. It's done by melting or with fire until it becomes liquid, then pouring it into molds to create various metal tools.
You got it. These 2 squares represent tool. In ancient times, people would break wood into similarly sized small pieces for easier measurement and processing. When combined, these three parts represent the metal used to make arrowheads and axes.
So that's how it is. I think the best way to learn Chinese characters would be to travel back in time to ancient times.
That would indeed be the best method. Now that we've learned the 5 Chinese characters Jin, Mu, Shui, He, and Tu, let's talk about why they were used to name the 5 major planets.
Professor, let me guess first. I love a good challenge.
Alright, your love for thinking is a great quality. But first, let's talk about how these 5 planets got their English names.
Great! I'm really eager to find out.
These 5 planets were named after figures from Roman mythology. Venus, the brightest planet, was named after the goddess of love and beauty, symbolizing elegance and charm. Jupiter, the largest planet, was named after the chief god, representing supreme power. Mercury, the fastest moving planet, was named after the messenger god, symbolizing speed and communication. Mars, with its red appearance resembling blood, was named after the god of war, representing conflict and aggression. Saturn, the slowest moving planet, was named after the god of agriculture, symbolizing harvest and time.
That's so interesting. People really have great imagination. Now, let me travel back to ancient China and imagine how people named the planets. When they looked up at the sky and saw a particularly bright star shining like metal, they named it Jinxing. Then they noticed a much larger planet compared to others, just like a big tree standing among small grasses, so they called it Muxing. Mercury moves very fast, just like the flow of water, so they named it Shuixing. Mars has a reddish appearance, so naming it Huoxing was the perfect choice. And finally, Saturn moves very slowly, steady, and heavy like the Earth, so they called it Tuxing. Professor, is my explanation correct?
You explained it very well. Not only did you interpret the meanings behind the names of the 5 major planets, but you also understood the way Chinese characters are created, by associating the most distinctive feature of an object with its written form. These 5 characters are often used to form new words. When they become part of compound characters, they are called radical. To maintain a balanced structure in writing, some of them undergo significant transformations. Look, here are the forms when used as radical 金字旁, 木字旁, 水字旁, 火字旁, 四点底 and 土字旁.
So Chinese characters can transform, just like Transformers.
Your analogy is fantastic. As long as you remember their transformed forms, you can easily understand Chinese characters. For example, characters with the 金字旁 are always related to metal and are often things made of metal, such as 钱, money.
This transformation of the 水字旁 looks like 3 drops of water, which makes it easy to remember. So, characters with the 水字旁 must be related to water.
Yes, for example, 江河 means river. They both have a 三点水旁.
Why does 火字旁 have 2 different transformations?
Chinese characters and English words are structured differently. English can only arrange letters in a line, whereas Chinese characters can be arranged horizontally, vertically, or even in an inner-outer combination. When the fire radical is placed at the bottom, it often transforms into 4 dots, for example 热, hot.
Chinese characters are not only like Transformers, but also resemble my favorite toys, Lego, and puzzles.
Haha, learning Chinese characters through play is a great idea. Now, can you tell me what we played with today?
I can say the names of the 5 planets in Chinese: 水星 Mercury, 金星 Venus, 火星 Mars, 木星 Jupiter, and 土星 Saturn. I also learned about radicals: 金字旁 metal radical, 木字旁 wood radical, 三点水 3 drops of water, 火字旁 fire radical, 四点底 fold up bottom, and 土字旁 soil radical. Now I can use them to play Chinese character puzzles.
Great! We had so much fun today. I'm sure I'll have a great dream.
Okay, Professor Kody, sweet dreams. Goodbye.
Click the link in the description to watch our Chinese channel, Parry and Kody's Chinese class, fully taught in Chinese. Don't forget to claim your free practice exercises and enjoy some fun stories along the way. This is Learn Chinese with Parry and Kody. If you like our video, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment to interact with us. See you next time.